Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make this elegant invitation for either quinceañeras, sweet 16, weddings or christenings or anything that you would like. I'm going to try to go through it really quick. So the first thing you're going to need is your 12 by 12 paper and a scoreboard. You're going to need a trimmer. You're going to need adhesive. I'm using the ATG glue gun. I used a die for the pattern, this lacy die by Crafter's Companion that got you from Tuesday Morning. But you can use Martha Stewart all over punch or any sort of punch that you have that you can punch out these types of patterns. You would just need to make it a little bigger and then cut it to fit your size, or you can just use regular pattern paper instead of the die cuts. You're gonna need your, I use these so that I can spray, because this is such an intricate die. I used this Craft Bond spray adhesive and I used the pliers, but these are actually different ones because the other ones actually got all full of the glue. The ribbon that you're gonna use, and I used bling on this, so whatever bling you want to use, that's optional. And if you don't want to use the spray adhesive, I did start using this, but it was taking me a really long time and I was just getting really tired and bored really quickly. It took me like all day to do less than half before I remembered that I had this, and then it took me like 10 minutes to finish the other half. So this is definitely quicker but really messy. And then you just need your information to put inside. Okay, so let's get started. I used the Martha Stewart scoreboard to score my 12 by 12 paper. Oh, you're gonna need your scoring tool. Where the heck is it? One second, guys. Here it is. So what I did is, instead of cutting it first, I went ahead and scored it first. That way, when you cut it, you have two invitations already scored, rather than cutting it first and then having to score each individual invitation. And I scored it at 3 inches. And I flip my paper over just to make sure I can line it up on the left here. And then score it again. And then you fold it over. And I actually really suck at scoring and cutting. They're never the same. But it's just easier. Okay, so now I got this 6 by 12 inch. And then I went ahead and cut it at 6 inches. And now I have two 6 by 6 invitations. The next thing I did was use my die to die cut my gold foil paper, and you're gonna need two 6 by 6, or actually I made it a little smaller. I made it like I think 5 3/4, and you need two, one for the inside and one for the outside. And I didn't use cardstock. I think it's easier to use cardstock with these intricate dies. But I wanted to save money, so I actually used wrapping paper, a gold foil wrapping paper, and it was a 50 square wrapping paper for $5.99 at Hobby Lobby. So with the coupon I paid like a little bit over $4, and I only used half the roll to create 50 invitations, cutting 100 6x6 squares, 2 for each. But it was really difficult to cut. I think it's because it's really intricate, but I had to run it 2 or 3 times through my cutter, so it took me a long time because I had to run it this way and then I had to flip it over and run it again, and it just wasn't a clean cut most of the time. Or I had to keep see, there's like little pieces right here sticking out. I think it's because this is really plasticky, but I'm not sure. I used the same foil to cut these with the punch, and then they're not as clean as the regular cardstock, but I did save a lot of money, so I went ahead and did that. So I went ahead and cut it, and then I trimmed it in half. So this is the actual pattern, and I went ahead and trimmed it in half, and then I sprayed it with the adhesive. So I got this piece right here, and now for the inside I use my ATG. What is it? My ATG to adhere this middle piece. And it doesn't have to be perfect, because since this is wrapping paper, it rolls up a lot, so it doesn't have to be perfect, because you're gonna cover it up. It does bend a little. You know how wrapping paper just sort of easily bends and has those little wrinkles in it. Go ahead and take your actual invitation and layer it on top. And just went ahead and did that. And for quinceañera, they put the dancers and the sponsors in them, so it's always like a little bit extra information besides the party information. And I just put the info on the side. So there's that. Then I went ahead and put a little bit of tape in the back and used my ribbon. I think this one's actually too short, but I'm just going to show you how I put it. And you do a bow, and then you can put your bling on it, and that's the idea, and you get this really beautiful, elegant invitation that's really affordable. Really, it's a little time consuming, but you save a lot of money. You can make your own wedding invitations